Hey guys, we are on to preschool training. And just on a total side note, I'm laughing. I'm recording these in my son's bedroom. And so I just realized that over my shoulder, the corner, is a Doctor Who painting. Can you see that? There's the TARDIS. My son is now grown and out of the house, and I just have set up an office in his room and have not really made it my own on the walls. We still have a lot of his things, even though he has been moved out for a while. So that'll be next on my list. Anyway, back to training. I want to talk about preschoolers. Preschoolers are so awesome. Typically in churches, preschoolers are 2 years old through 5 years old, but not in kindergarten yet. Some churches include kindergartners in their preschool department, so you may have some varying things. And again, as you walk in, especially on a Sunday morning, the 2s through 5s, you're going to be engaging in curriculum. They will have some things set up, at least hopefully. Most churches should. It's my heartbeat. These precious little ones are being introduced to Jesus for the first time, and so it's very special and wonderful. So you'll be engaging with curriculum, hopefully, with these little ones. But in everything you do, even if it's in playing with the children, with toys, and hopefully that church will have creative kinds of toys, kitchens, so they're playing make believe, Duplo blocks, so they're creating things. And I just want you to keep something in mind with preschoolers. You know, just like we talked about with babies, you might sing a little song over them about how God loves them. One of my favorite curriculum is the Orange curriculum. And for preschoolers, they have 3 things that they want children to know in those preschool years. And that is that God made them. We want to know God made me, and God loves me, and Jesus wants to be my friend forever. So if you can keep those things in your mind as you're using whatever curriculum it is they have, and sometimes if you're babysitting in a situation for a Bible study or a choir practice or something, as they're creating in the little kitchen, just say, "Isn't that wonderful? Look at what you can make. God made that food for us to eat. God made you. God loves you. Do you know that Jesus wants to be your friend forever?" And so, as you engage preschoolers, just keep those things in mind, and then using whatever the curriculum is, which should be fairly simple and easy to understand with some activities and a lesson. Just help them understand God loves them. Oh, if our little ones can understand that, that is huge. That is huge. Again, just as with our babies, we talked about, greet parents as they drop off their little ones. It's really important. Introduce yourself and follow whatever the church's procedure is for checking in children. This age may still have a little bag of something. Hopefully they aren't bringing in their most precious toy for you to protect and make sure no other child drools on. That's always fun. But follow their procedures for checking in. Make sure you get the child's name. Talk to the parent if they have any special instruction. Get that. That's very important. You want to interact with preschoolers by just loving them and reading stories, sitting right down there on the floor with them playing. When they bring you their crazy make believe food, you eat it. You know, all those kinds of things. Preschoolers love make believe and to play. So engage them in stories and make believe, maybe acting out the Bible story they heard in their large group time. Whatever it is, you want to engage on their level, get down on the floor, and those kinds of things. This age, they might want to crawl into your lap and have you read a book to them and read a story. Do it, use their name as much as you can. Let them know they are special to you. Because as you let them know they are special to you, they're learning that they are special to God. And it's so important to those foundational years. Preschoolers are using potties, usually. Some of our 2-year-olds, it might still be a diaper changing situation. Some churches say you can't move into the 3-year-olds unless you can potty. And so some situations call a parent to help a child or change an older child's diaper. So make sure you check in with whatever those procedures are for that church. But if you're in the situation of helping a preschooler go potty, I want you to remember these things. Wash your hands and the child's when we're done. We teach washing hands. I know some parents at home don't do that, but we wash hands. And so sometimes I would say that to children when they tell me, no, we don't wash our hands. Little boys, no, we don't wash our hands. Well, we do. I would often say, Miss K does. So Miss K says we're going to wash our hands. So make sure you're washing child's hands and your hands. You just never know after in the potty. You might have to help a child, but if at all possible, keep the bathroom door ajar. At the church, often they have a bathroom right there. So keep the door open, ajar. I mean, we want privacy for the children from other children, but we also want to use safe practices, and we want to avoid any appearance of this would come under sexual abuse prevention training, right? We just want any appearance of anything. And so most likely you'll have to help a child wipe their bottom, but you do it very quickly, very easily. Keep the door ajar. We wash hands. We're in and out, and only help a child if necessary. If a child says they can do it, well, let them do it. You know what? Here's the thing. They might not get everything all cleaned up exactly as they need to, but they're going to survive, and those clothes can go in the wash. So it's okay. But if they say no, don't help, I do this myself, well, okay. And just help them get their pants up or panties up, and then wash hands. Make sure we wash hands. Also, make sure you help and go after the child to make sure they flushed. There's nothing worse than something sitting in a preschool potty for the week. And not all kiddos remember to flush, so you're just going to help them with that whole procedure. Make sure that they flush and then wash hands. Discipline, just as in the toddlers are moving into preschool. So when we talk about discipline with the preschoolers, again, we never hit a child, ever. We never pop a child's hand. We never spank a bottom. We don't do that. Redirection as much as possible. Timeout is probably more effective with this age than when they are younger. So try using a timeout for a first offense. Always kneel down on a child's level, right? Because when you're a big grown-up and a child, it can seem very scary. So get down on their level. Take their hands. Are you being as kind as you can possibly be? Are you being kind to your friends? We want to be loving and kind to our friends. Those kinds of things. Biting, hitting, pushing are not kind. And so we don't do that. You may need to remove a child from a situation. May be necessary to stay close to that child again to help. The other thing I want to talk about with you about in this age group is making sure little fingers are not near doors. So there may be, and this is where we don't know every situation. There may be some sort of closet door or a bathroom door. We want to be, it's really common for one little child to slam a door and the other little child's finger be in that door. So as much as possible, when someone's not using a door, keep them closed. Make sure we don't have kids near doorways. We don't want to do that, that you're engaged, that you are really aware at all times what's happening with all of your children. So safety procedures are very important. Again, with discipline issues, if you have a child that's really out of control, you want to get the church contact involved, that person, whoever's the supervising person for that area. And sometimes if you're working with someone from the church, they may be real familiar with a child. There might be a child struggling. There may be some things happening at home that you know nothing about. And so be as kind as you can be. And as understanding as you can be, because we just never know what a child is walking through. We always want to reflect the love of Jesus, but we want to protect all of the children in the room. So we need to make sure we do that. Medical emergencies, again, if there's something life-threatening happening, we call 911. Then we call the church contact, who gets in touch with the parent. If there's some injury that has happened that is not life-threatening, Somebody fell and scraped their knee, got a rug burn, whatever. We want to get the church contact for that situation. And again, remember those incident report forms that we have if anything happens. You just want to fill it out just to protect ourselves and the children. If there's ever any question, where they come back and say, what really happened? My child said this. My child said that. We want to have it documented because it can be hard to remember things as time goes on. Preschoolers are precious. They are fun. They will love you. So engage with them, engage with the curriculum, and have fun. But sometimes preschoolers are exhausted. They have had a long day, and if it is a nighttime meeting, and sometimes maybe parents are just so desperate to get to their Bible study or to their choir practice, they haven't really realized just the toll that it is taking on that child. So if you find that a preschooler is extra crabby, extra tired, maybe just sit and sort of rock and read a book. Calming down can help that child. Sometimes that child is just tired. And the opposite can be true too. Sometimes they are ready to go and move and groove. If the child has a preschool appropriate playground and the contact has told you that it is okay to take them out, they will have certain procedures on how to do that. Then you are welcome to take those little ones out to the playground or to the play area. Sometimes they need that. They need to do that. And maybe you need to have a little game of duck, duck, goose with those children so that they can run a little bit and have some fun. So just as you go, always be engaged with children. Be as kind and loving as you can be. Redirect. Those are the ways that we want to help preschoolers know those three things: that God made me, God loves me, and Jesus wants to be my friend forever.